6 months of hard work, 50 plus forms, different departments, and then, hey developers, welcome back to the channel OnlyCode. If you have been following our monorepo playlist, you know we have covered the basics, what monorepos are, how they work, and how they helped in some of the use cases. But today I'm going to share something very different that happened to me and our team while working on a client project. So it's a true real world story from the trenches. So be with the video and enjoy the show. Okay, so here is the situation. We had a client who came with a good number of complex requirements. Okay, so this is the requirement he came with, and these requirements are quite complex. Why? Because this is not a simple business website. They needed a comprehensive management system, think like which contains forms, tables, dashboards, the whole nine yards. Okay, so these requirements are quite complex. Let me draw these things so this will look good, right? Now the client gave us around 6 months to launch its first product to production. That means developer phase over, testing part done, then launching of its first product. So he gave us the total of 6 months for that. Okay. So after having lots of meeting with client and getting all the needs he wants to get into the product, we, the developer team, decided to build it within 6 months. And right now, the process we were following is basically simple. We will have front end separate repo, again, the back end separate repo. Each will be deployed in a server in separate servers, and the normal way we actually develop a software. Cool. Right till now, we have no issues. Okay. Now the problem comes after 6 months of rigorous development and testings. We successfully launched our version 1.0 for the product client asked. Okay, and this is the product in production. So we have launched it to the production, and client was happy to know that. He tested it from his side and he was quite uh, satisfied. Yeah. But again, here is the thing about software. It will never be a perfect software. Okay, so our software too is not perfect. Is it from our side it is not perfect? No, it is from client side. Because again, whenever you develop a project, a product, there will always be a chance where it can get improved, whether you are making it for the its domain available for the normal public, or it's for your own company, the product is for your own company to manage it. Still there always be a improvement, chances of improvement, and hence our product also has the chances of improvement. So after a while our client realized that their product needed more features, tables and sections, and enhanced functionalities. And in the same time, our client is quite smart. He played a great move. Uh, he said, do one thing. Version 1.0 is in production, right? It's in production. And production codes are quite risky to be modified. He said, let's do one thing. Let's do versioning of the app, of the application we are building. And what does versioning means? Means having, means developing different versions, right, for the application. but the client asked us to make it in separate repo so that none of the codes of version 1.0 will get modified. Why? Because he has the issues that version 1.0 is launched right now and it should be tested very rigorous so that they can check if things are manageable, whatever the features are, is it is working fine or not for the company we they made, because they made the product for their own company. It's an enterprise level company and they made it so that things can get manageable. Now let me paint you a picture of what we are dealing with. Imagine a huge company with name ABCD. Okay, let's give it a name ABCD. Let's call it ABCD Corporation with multiple, you can say, departments. Of course, a company would have a multiple department, right? So let's say department one, then department two, and then department three. Okay, so yeah, these are the three departments. And this is for example. There are more separate departments. I am just taking three departments as an example, each with specific needs. The application we are building had to manage corporate management, worker education, coordination, business operations, department specific workflows from the product itself. And on the front end, this means there are tons of forms to fill out and manage, plus various UI components for different departments. And interestingly, client asked, not interestingly, actually this should be okay, that if there is a product and there are separate departments to manage, then UI of each departments, that is, it should be consistent. Okay, so the client wanted each department and business unit to be maintained in separate repository, and he asked to make this all the departments in different repo. Means first launch a product, means develop a department in a separate product and launch it, then again develop a department in separate product project and then launch it. Okay, this is quite a hectic thing if client wants everything to be UI consistent. And he asked us, so is it possible? No. But let me tell you why did he wants to do that. Because as you know that he had already launched version 1.0, asked us to develop and launched. Okay, cool, for a different department, and asked that department to please test this quite rigorously and give us the feedback, is it efficient or not. Okay, these things happen in real world scenario, so don't get panic. Again, he wants to launch version 2.0 where it should contain the department of version 1 also, and a separate department where we are going to develop, which we are going to develop in version 2.0. So version 2.0 will have an add-on department plus the department in 1.0, and same things will continue in different departments that client wants. Okay, sorry, different versions like this he wants to develop each of the departments. Now the problem is, if you have experience of front-end developer, then you would know that for each time we develop a product, we want things to be scalable. And to make things scalable in front end, we need common components. Okay, so that we can use it easily, across the application, right? But because of this versioning thing and different repositories, it is getting too much painful for us to meet the requirement and make it scalable at the same time, making UI consistent, having common components so that one component can be changed, tweaked, and the different departments will get the same UI. So these are the things we have to uh, have in mind and then develop it. So think like this, that we have made version 1.0, again we will make version 2.0, again we will make 3.0, again we will make 4.0. There will be lot of copy paste codes of common components, because again the UI are consistent. UI should be consistent with different versions, okay, so that user won't get hindrance with the user experience, right? Due to these cases, we have lots of due to this kind of restrictions, we had to think how we can make different repositories with common components, making UI consistent and having less pain. Means, of course, common components, migrating it from one repo to another means copying it. It takes time, right? And we don't want to do this. And of course, this ABCD corporation is so big that they have lot of departments, and if we will do versioning for each of them, then this might get bit of problematic, right? So what to do? And here we thought that we have to perform some architectural level changes in our code, in our new repo, and hence monorepo comes into the picture. So what we did or performed in the monorepo, how this helped in front end part, right? Suppose this is a repository for front end. We initiated a front end repository where all the initial work like feed part, React setup, and everything is done. Now let's come to know how monorepo worked. Means how we did architectural level of code in monorepo. Means setup part. Okay. So we had a folder called libs, and inside this we kept all the common components of forms, starting from modal to buttons. Each thing are custom tables, then dashboard 1 2 3, everything, layouts, everything is common here, okay. So you can call it as whatever the common components we needed, we created in this libs folder, common component, okay. And each of the component are being scoped, so that are being scoped to different styles. Means there are base styling, okay, and if we need to do some repo type, means particular changes in particular thing, we can do it from while calling the component itself, right? Second thing, we created a folder called utils. We maintained a folder called utils where all these all the services are divided into small services, okay. Means all the small services or the bigger services are present in here, which we can use across the repo. And then we maintained a folder called apps. Now this apps is the most magical folder. Why? Because this will have app 1, again this will have app 2, and again this will have app 3, right? So basically the versioning part will be done in this apps. So let's get to the point. our repo in which we have common components, utils, and there is a folder where we create separate apps, right? And with the app 1, app 2, app 3, we can easily call this util services and common components to use it in the particular apps whatever we needed. Okay, so yeah, this is how we maintained the monorepo. And this is the beauty of this approach was its simplicity. Okay, when we implemented this, it gave access to all the common form components from the leaves folder, use shared utilities for data processing, maintain consistent styling and behavior, and most effectively, we can deploy independently without affecting other departments. Okay, rather say other versions of the app. And the most useful cases, we can update any component, like suppose a date picker or a data table. We have to update it once in the leaves folder, and it will automatically become available to all the applications across, right? Yeah, that's it. So I hope that you have enjoyed the video. It's time to sum up the video, and this is our real world monorepo experience, which have I worked, which I have worked. And tell me in the comment section that have you worked with monorepos in your project. Drop your experiences in the comment below. Maybe a small comment or a big comment, that matters. And in this video, you understand the practical benefit of monorepo architectures. So smash the like button and subscribe for the more real world development stories. And see you in the next video. Thank you.